Well, hello again and welcome to this first edition of Shed Talk for December. As I mentioned in the last video, I had a couple of birds that needed to go up to a friend of mine who loaned me a lovely yellowface cockbird a few years ago, and I'm just about to give him some of the offspring that yellowface produced. So I'll just show you those two birds before I go and drop them in the car and whiz them off up to Reading. So here are the two birds, grandchildren of the original cockbird. A yellow-faced dominant pied at the front, not in the best of condition at the moment, but was earlier. Oops, see if I can get him back up. Showing really well and was bouncing in the flight. So I would recommend that you get that one in the breeding cage reasonably quickly. And the other one at the back is a grey dominant pied, and the only thing wrong with this bird, and when I looked at it in the rundown, was I didn't think the wing carriage was particularly well. Otherwise it's quite a nice looking bird, and there's grown a little bit since we did the assessment. So there we go, those are the two birds. Like I say, you need to get them in the car, whiz them on up to Reading and hand them over to their new home. Well, I've dropped those two birds off up at their new home. I'm sure they're settling in well, and I hope they breed some good birds for him. Like I say, this is all part of the hobby, isn't it? We, loan each other birds, reduces the costs, and we help each other out. So that's the way I see the hobby working. Behind me is a couple of young birds. Well, I say young, they're just coming out of the nappy flight and about to go into the main cock flight. In fact, replacing the two birds I've just given away, so which is always handy, isn't it? So I'll just show you these two birds before I put them in the main flight, and then we'll have an update on how the rest of the breeding season's going. So here we are, here's the two youngsters that are about to go into the cock flight, the main cock flight, both opalines. One is a yellowface opaline cinnamon dominant pied, and the other one is just an opaline grey cinnamon, I believe. Both looking a little bit worse for wear, where they've been sat in the nursery flight for so long. I particularly like the grey opaline. Very clean, or looks very clean, not much chicken on the top. Going to be quite a nice big bird, I think. Quite pleased with him, and he'll be a good replacement for the ones that we've let go. Hopefully we'll be able to get him into a breeding cage towards the end of the year. So what I'm going to do now is I'll pop these couple of birds, these two birds, back into the main cock flight, and then we'll have an update on the way the rest of the breeding season's going. So I've got rid of two birds from the main flight, some surplus stock. These two birds can replace those. Now what I need is to replace some of these into the nappy case, and I can only do that if I breed a few. So let's have a look at how we're doing. Well, that's those two birds up in the main flight. I'm going to have a look at how the rest of the birds are breeding. Remember in the last video that I was having real problems, so clear eggs being eaten, eggs being broken, eggs being laid in the main, in the breeding cages. I'm pleased to say we've had a bit of success, so let's have a first look at some full eggs. I hope you can see from these 4 eggs that some of the eggs are starting to go that lovely sort of pearly white colour. I'm hoping that's visible in the video. I can certainly see it when you look at it. Gives an indication that the eggs are likely to be full. So let's have a quick look. I'm hoping you can see the obvious veins there to show that that egg there is clearly a full egg. Of course, the big question is, where are those eggs? Well, they're actually in pair 4, the pair that a few videos ago you chose the hen for, so thank you very much. My first success is in pair 4. They've actually laid, or the hen's actually laid 8 eggs, of which I believe 6 of those are full. So touch wood, we should get 3 or 4 birds out of there. I doubt if we'll get all 6. As always, there tends to be a couple from my point of view, tend to get addled. And as we saw from a couple of videos ago, the cockbird in pair 4 does tend to go in the nest box quite a lot, which is a little bit concerning, I suppose. So that's pair 4. How have the other pairs done? Let's have a quick roundup. Let's start with pair 1. I don't know if you saw that, but the hen is going in and out of the nest box. We started to clear it. Cockbird's paying a lot of attention to her. I can see he's bouncing there on the perch. Not paying much attention to her at the moment, but has been over the last few days. So all the eggs have been taken out of pair 1. So she's reset, refilled the nest box. Hopefully she'll go again, and this time we'll have a bit more success. This here is pair 2. Likewise the same. I had problems with this pair in the first round, so I've reset them. Eggs have been removed from the nest box. The hen's cleared it and is now sitting on it. I'm hoping she's actually going to lay this time round, because if you may remember from the first round, she just sat in there and didn't lay anything. So I'm sort of hoping that she will do a bit better this time round, so we'll have to wait and see. But that's pair 2, so pair 2 reset. So let's move on to pair 3. Pair 3 done absolutely nothing, so I've actually popped the hen back into the hen flight. Hopefully get her to have a bit more exercise, see if she can lose a little bit of weight. When I took her out, she did seem quite heavy, so I'll put her back in there, see if she can lose a little bit of weight. And I'm going to replace the pair 3 cock with an unrelated hen. There's a couple of hens in the flight that are looking like they're in very good condition in terms of breeding, so I'll see which one of those might suit him best, and we'll try again, and this will then become pair 7, I suppose, for the year. So here we are with pair 4. As I've already said, pair 4 is the most successful pair so far in the first round. Laid a total of 7 eggs, and of which 5 of those are full. So it looks like pair 4 is going to be my saviour pair from round 1. The first of those eggs is due to hatch in a few days, around about the 13th of December, so hopefully in the next video we may well have a few youngsters to have a look at, a few newly hatched youngsters. So pair 4, well done pair 4. And this here is pair 5. This hen has started to clear the nest box, as I think I said in the last video, but doesn't seem to be doing very much else. I'm going to give her no more than another week or 2. Cockbird has been feeding her. She's been paying attention to the cockbird, but it doesn't seem to be going any further. So a bit like her sister, I think my plan will be, if she hasn't done anything within the next week, in terms of laid anything or sat in the nest box, I'm going to replace this cockbird, this hen, with another hen for this cockbird. And finally, let's have a look at pair 6. Well, pair 6 has been an interesting pair. So we're the first ones to start clearing the nest box and the first ones to lay. We then lost a couple of eggs where the hen just removed them or ate them or whatever. We put a marble in, I don't remember that. And since putting the marble in, she stopped eating the eggs and laid more. But most of those eggs are clear, but there is one full egg in amongst those. So we've got a total of 6 eggs in the nest box, of which one is full. What I don't know whether I'm going to do yet is move a couple of the full eggs from pair 4 into this next box, just to even them out a little bit. I don't know whether I'll do that yet. I'll wait and see how pair 4 get on with feeding the first few birds, but it's likely that I will end up removing or moving a couple of the eggs across, particularly if the first 3 in nest box 4 for pair 4 all hatch out successfully. So there we are. That's how we're going. A little bit better, a bit of hope there for the budgerigars, with a total of 6 full eggs out of all of those, out of 6 pairs. So averaging so far 1 per pair. And a quick update on the 2 new zebras. Hope you can see this. So one of the youngsters sat at the very front here now has a full tail, so that's pleasing. Don't know whether that's going to be a hen or not. I hope so, because I've got loads and loads of cockbirds. I'm still struggling to work out how to sex these. I know the cockbird has a much darker red beak than the hen, so hopefully that first one will be a hen. And as you can see from the pied, it's starting to feather up, so no longer got all of those bits missing. See if I can get a bit more in focus. No longer got all the body feathers missing, still missing a few, still hasn't grown the tail back, but again, hopefully she'll be fully, or that pied will fully recover. So that's a quick update on the zebras. Well, that's just about all we've got time for in this particular video. Budgerigars, well, we've got some full eggs at last, hooray! And who knows, maybe by the time of the next video we'll even have some youngsters in at least one of the nest boxes to have a look at. All going well, and lots of touching wood and lots of crossed fingers there. So budgerigars looks a little bit more hopeful, and the zebra thinks, as we saw, those 2 youngsters can be feathering up nicely, and hopefully will be no worse to wear from the feather plucking in the nest. So unlike the last video, it feels like we're finishing on just a little bit of a high, and a bit of new hope in the shed. I have no doubt there'll be more trials and tribulations before the end of the breeding season, but while it's going well, let's all enjoy it. So, as always, please enjoy your birds and stay safe.